On the Jacob Beer Show, I'm so happy to have on Boris Epstein. Did I say it right?
They said it right.
Um, so of course you are a man of many different things right now. You're doing a lot of different things with, the Trump campaign. You've been in the courtroom recently with Trump at times. Um, Take us through what's it kind of like right now? Is it crazy, chaotic?
It's winning, my friend. It's a winning campaign, and a winning campaign is what anybody who's in this business wants to be a part of. President Trump is absolutely dominating in the polls. He's dominating. He's dominating this race, and he has shown that the more they come at him, the better he does, the stronger he is. And if you're seeing the numbers, obviously he won Iowa in historic fashion, largest margin ever. He got more votes in New Hampshire than any candidate ever, and now he's crushing it in Nevada, which he's going to obviously, and then in South Carolina where he's up by 35, and then on to the general where he's absolutely destroying crooked Joe Biden. You saw a poll come out today where he's up by big numbers in all the battleground states. So we've got a winning team, winning campaign, and President Trump is absolutely dominating.
Absolutely. And I can tell that just as a guy who's in college looking at the numbers. I go to Purdue, it's a big school when it comes to stats, so very familiar when it comes to numbers, and the numbers do show Trump winning in very big numbers, almost double digits. Where do you kind of see this going? When do you think Nikki Haley might be dropping out? Ambassador Haley, do you think she's going to drop out right after South Carolina, or do you think she's going to try to actually stay in until Super Tuesday?
That's up to her. That's irrelevant. It doesn't even matter, right? Burbank can do whatever she wants. The bottom line is President Trump is the one who the American people want back in the Oval Office as soon as possible, and that's why you're seeing the numbers that are out there. And she should have dropped out yesterday. She should have dropped out a week ago because it is time for the American people, to bring the president back, and all time for all Republicans to coalesce behind President Trump. So, but in the meantime, the president continues to run that winning campaign, continues to uh, relate and have an authentic relationship with the American people that nobody else can have, and that's why the numbers are so astronomical.
For sure. And something that I'm noticing is we saw Gavin Newsom out in South Carolina and in Nevada. Nevada makes sense since it's his neighboring state, but South Carolina at a point a little bit ago. Do you think Biden will be the nominee, or do you think it's going to be somebody else?
It's tough to tell. It's tough to tell. I mean, he's obviously in terrible shape. He's completely deteriorating. You don't have a president right now, and that's what has. Sadly, as Steve Bannon says, elections have consequences. Stolen elections have catastrophic consequences. That's what happened. They stole this election, and that's how we ended up where we are now. It's a sad state of affairs. Our country's disrespected. We have a disaster domestically, disaster internationally. But let me assure you that whoever is the nominee for the Democrats, they're going to get absolutely crushed by President Trump.
Interesting. And just a couple other questions. Of course, I'm in college. A lot of people that listen to my show are in college. What is the case for college students to get out there and vote for President Trump over somebody like maybe Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, whoever it might be, Dean Phillips, Marianne Williamson? What's the case for President Trump? Why kids should vote for him? Well, I shouldn't say kids, young adults over any Democrat?
Very thoughtful question. The case is the survival of America. Our country is falling apart under the Democrats. We have no southern border. We have no economic independence. We have no energy independence. And under President Trump, we had a strong border. We had energy dominance. We're a net exporter of oil. Now we're back to being a net importer, and we were respected all across the world. So for someone like you, as you're going through college, thinking about your career, do you want to live in an America which is strutting, which is strong, which is respected? Do you want to have a great job? Do you want to have a wage which isn't crushed by inflation? If the answer up to all those things is yes, then you've got to vote for President Donald J. Trump. And if anybody who thinks of voting for the Democrats, all they have to do is look at the contrast. Look at the way our country stood and performed under President Trump. All that strength, all that power, on everything from crushing ISIS to recognizing who our true allies and our adversaries are, and being respected by our adversaries and our allies, to now Under Joe Biden, we've got a war in the Middle East, absolute disaster in the Middle East. We've got a war in Eastern Europe, which is a quagmire surrounded by nuclear reactors. And we have a country that's back to falling apart. So just look at the contrast, and the result is clear. Everybody from college on up has got to vote for President Donald J. Trump.
That was a lot of information right there. And two last questions. Of course, a lot of people who have worked for Trump and still do have great stories to share about him. What's maybe one of your favorite memories so far on this re-election campaign, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'll tell you this: I've been honored, to be in service and to be, on the president's team now for a long time. But I will tell you, just being in New Hampshire a week ago, yesterday was absolutely historic. President Trump received more votes than any candidate, either party, ever in the history of the New Hampshire primary, and it was a real honor for me to be there on the ground and witness all the support, all the love for President Trump and his love for the American people.
And one last question: where do you see some of these court cases going? If you can just kind of speak on them a little bit briefly. Of course, we'll see if the appeal is going to be successful or not with the Jean Carroll trial. But where do you kind of see it all going? A lot of people think he might be in jail. Can you say that
President Trump is going to continue winning, continue dominating all across all of these cases? He'll win the appeals where he has to. And on the other case, look, Georgia's already falling apart under the weight of scrutiny on that prosecutor. The Florida case, the President Trump's legal team has been making robust filings there and absolutely destroying the DOJ in that case. In DC, the President Trump and his team have made a very powerful filing on immunity. And in Manhattan, the team is doing really great work. So President Trump's got the best lawyers out there, and he's been beating these election interference and hoaxes at every single step of the way, and will continue to do so.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Jacob Beer Show. I enjoyed being able to hear your take and somebody who's actually can speak on things and isn't just a conspiracy theorist and can speak the truth about what's going on, since you're in the inner circle there. Is there any last words of advice that you would have for young people?
Absolutely. Be involved. Get involved. Your agency and your power is in your own hands. So make sure you're not just sitting back, not just observing, but be somebody who's making your own destiny and determining our country's destiny. Be strong, be powerful, be proactive.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for joining the Jacob Beer Show today.
Thanks, Jacob. God bless you and your audience.